On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Ethan dies twice and Tony fights Cloud. We talk about all of the week's biggest news and we answer your questions. Well, howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
I fixed your show notes after you said them.
After I said, what did you do?
I deleted a period.
Oh no. Oh, I see that now. The period is gone at the end, so the whole show has to just be one long run-on sentence.
No, you still have the period. You had two periods in there.
Oh. I was emphasizing the end of the statement.
I mean, we might have to redo the intro at this rate, because, I mean, you may have read it wrong with the two periods there.
No, I probably didn't even realize there was a period in that sentence at all.
Well, you didn't have the period at the end right here where it actually belongs.
Well, that's weird. Then how did I read that sentence at all?
You've never stopped.
That's true. That's true. Punctuation. I don't need no punctuation.
He's Ron Burgundy.
Right. That's right.
You don't have anyone young enough to know that joke.
I know that joke.
Actually, probably all our listeners know that joke.
I've seen Anchorman. So, well, Ethan, have you been playing
Yes.
anything awesome this week?
If by awesome you mean frustrating and difficult, then yes.
That could be a number of things.
Generally, that goes with the Dark Souls series.
Yes, it does.
Or Bloodborne, or whatever else.
Have you played the Dark Souls of Dark Souls yet?
I started to, but then they shut down the servers, and then I just gave up.
Oh, that sucks. Well, what have you been playing that is Dark Souls-esque?
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Still working my way through that game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying going through that game, or have you gotten to the point where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore?
I love it when I get to a new area and I can just kind of traverse on the rooftops safely. And even that's gotten to be where it's no longer safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in places where if you've seen the clips online where people are getting killed by certain things, then that's where I'm at. Whenever I talk roof talks and getting attacked, if you've seen the clips, you know exactly what it is.
Okay.
But I'm in places on there. I'm finding less. They're not bonfires in this one. They're Buddha statues.
Do you get to rub its belly?
I don't think so.
No, that would probably be disrespectful or something, right?
I don't know. It might be good luck. I would have to check on my religious knowledge here that I don't have for this particular religion.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it either. So it's probably best just to not talk about that stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to offend anyone. So yeah, I am having such a tough time on this game. I actually I think I've defeated two actual bosses in the game at this point.
Yeah.
One of them I fought fair and square and defeated him second try. Maybe third try. Who's counting besides me?
You, I would assume.
But there was this other boss, and she's kind of a jerk. And I eventually got mad, looked up a strategy, and people were like, yeah, just spam this attack.
Okay.
And
did you spam the attack and beat her?
It worked for her first phase. Her second phase, not so much. But, I powered through it, and it took a few tries with that, but I got it to work.
Okay.
So, yeah. It's kind of neat just being the ninja on this game, getting upgrades and doing things with the upgrades.
Yeah. I remember when they first showed this game off, I thought it looked really, really cool, but knowing it's a Dark Souls style game, I know I will never be able to finish it.
What if I said it was like a Tenshu game?
Uh, that might get me a little more interested in playing it.
Well, I kind of found out this week that's what the game originally began as.
Really?
Yeah, they were trying to reboot the Tenshu Stealth Assassin series.
Interesting.
And since they already had the stuff from Bloodborne and Dark Souls and all that, just kind of using HUD stuff, I guess, on there. And this is a true offline, true single player experience. There's no online interactions.
Yeah.
So
So
that was
you're not leaving messages for anybody or anything like that?
nothing like that at all. So it just kind of it took Tenshu too far away from the original aspect and put it closer to the Souls stuff. So here we are, a weird amalgamation of the two. And
Okay.
there are weird
Interesting.
creatures in this game. I think I ran into a thing called the Headless. It was a guy without a head, and he kicked my butt
That
real easy.
that makes sense, actually.
It's like, how did he know I was there? How does he communicate with people? It boggles the mind, man.
Um, he uses Morse code by tapping on things.
Oh, speaking of the Dark Souls series, I ran into a guy who was he was actually a mid boss or mini boss or whatever. He was just a guy on the way, and he was totally a Dark Souls character, like just a generic uh, player that you would encounter wearing full body armor, carrying a sword, like a claymore or whatever.
Okay.
And he took no damage from attacks. So
Really?
that was a difficult situation to deal with.
Huh.
So yeah, I'm not going to spoil how you defeat that guy, but took him down.
No, I think there's still a lot of people that want to just, figure this game out for themselves.
Yeah, it wasn't very obvious what to do for that guy, but when you figure it out, it's great. But man, I totally see where they were going with the Tenshu stuff on here, and I really
Yeah.
wish, really, really wish we just had a straight Tenshu game. Like, I
Do you
really
think
loved playing that first game in that
do you
series.
think they'll get another chance at that?
Uh, maybe. Like they have the tech here now for traversing the world, I guess, but it depends how heavy they want to go on with the abilities and such, or how light they want to go for what it would turn the game into.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, working diligently and making little progress in Sekiro.
Yeah, but it sounds like you figured out the game enough that you'll be able to, get through the rest of it, with not a whole lot of issue.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Where what I've noticed on here that's the major difference between the dark or between this and Bloodborne. We'll go with that situation. In any of the Souls games, you defeat your enemies, you gain their souls or blood echoes or whatever you want to call it, their essence, to build yourself up with by leveling up after getting so much. In this one, you get experience points, and you lose like half of them upon death.
Hmm.
But you have to use those to buy abilities. And if you want more life, or if you want to if you want more life, defeat mini bosses so you can get the prayer beads. If you want more attack power, you have to defeat major bosses so you can absorb the memories. and it just feels like a really long and slow process just to power yourself up any on here.
Yeah.
And so you have to rely on skill and technique purely for majority of the game.
Well, that's something that's fairly similar to the Dark Souls games, though, right?
Yeah, but as soon as you start leveling it up, it's like, oh, now I can use this awesome sword here that does way more damage. One swing and like everything in front of you is dead. It's like, okay, cool, carry on.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it looks fantastic. I'd really be interested in at least checking it out. Um, but I know I'd never finish it.
No, but I'm sure you have a kid or two that would probably enjoy playing it for a while.
Possibly.
But yeah, it's not Tony friendly for that, since you have enough of a hard time trying to 100% anything.
I don't 100% anything.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah, you'd probably get through the tutorial, and that would probably be it.
gosh, what was the last game I 100%ed?
You told me this the other day.
Mutant Muds, probably.
I don't believe you did that.
I did the first one.
They've updated the game. That it no longer counts.
Okay, I 100%ed it a long time ago before it had a bunch of additional stuff.
Vanilla Mutant Muds.
Yes,
there
Vanilla Mutant Muds, I 100%ed.
All right, all right.
So I have 100%ed some games, but even like Luigi's Mansion, I've never 100%ed it because there's always one boo that I've never been able to find. So I can get 49 out of the 50, but I can't find that last boo.
It's in the basement.
No, it's somewhere else.
Third floor.
And I don't know where.
Third floor.
It may be.
It's either the third floor or the basement. One or the other. Or it's probably hiding in the boo room for all we know.
I don't know how many playthroughs it was before I found out that you could go up when you're on the roof. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't played this. Up on the roof, there's a place that you can climb up to like one of the chimneys and drop in, and it drops you into that room that's locked and boarded up that you can't get to on the top floor. But that's how you do it, is you have to go through the chimney.
Such a fun game. I really enjoyed playing that one. And then we got Luigi's Mansion 2, and it changed stuff.
Which was not as good.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's not a bad game, don't get me wrong.
I really hope they do something great with the new one.
Luigi's Mansion 1 is
like I want them to
better
bring
than 2.
back like the big major humanoid looking ghost thing.
I want the ghosts with the personality, exactly. Not just the generic.
Not these cookie cutter ghosts that are everywhere.
Yeah, which is, fine for the, your regular fodder, but the bosses should be the bosses like the baby and the piano player and all of them that have some character and some personality to.
Oh man, what if they go full Japanese horror with the new one?
Oh my gosh. We'll get like a ghost from The Ring.
The Grudge.
I don't want that.
Man.
Like, they've had one of those characters. I think the character from The Grudge. They had a girl dressed up like her once at a baseball game and threw out the first pitch, and it was creepy.
Well,
like, I don't want that. I want my Luigi's Mansion horror gameplay to be family friendly horror. I want Goosebumps level horror, not The Grudge.
In the words of Adam Jensen. Wait, was it yeah, in the words of Jensen, I never asked for this. So yeah, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
Very different from Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion is the Dark Souls of vacuum cleaning ghost game.
Yes.
There you go. That's how we can tie it all together.
What if Nintendo surprises us and says that Luigi's Mansion Arcade coming to Switch?
I'd be okay with that, as long as that's not Luigi's Mansion 3.
No, like it's a bundled package in there.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do the whole wind effects that the arcade machine has
It has a USB fan
that you have to
thingy.
clip to the back of your shirt.
Yes.
I wouldn't put it past Nintendo to do something like that.
So, what have you been playing?
Sekiro Shadows Die. No, I haven't been playing that.
I was about to say, that's my line right there.
I've been playing the Dark Souls of Disney games.
Dark Souls of Disney games.
I don't know that that's true, but we're talking about Dark Souls.
Would
So,
that Epic Mickey? No, no, no.
oh no, uh, that's the Fester's Quest of Disney games.
Oh.
Um,
Well, I mean, that would technically be a Dark Souls game.
that's true. No, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
I've heard of
I
this.
I grabbed the all-in-one package off PS4 a couple weeks ago for my birthday,
Nice.
which has everything. It's like the story so far. It's 1.5 final mix, 2.5 final mix, 2.8 whatever that thing is, and 3, all together in one downloadable thing. It's like 125 gigabyte download. I couldn't do it all. I had to break it up into separate parts because I don't have that much space on my PlayStation.
Yeah, that would be a major. Yeah, yeah. We'll just leave it there.
So, but it's been so long since I've played anything Kingdom Hearts related. I wanted to start over at the beginning anyway. So I started playing Kingdom Hearts. I guess it's 1.5. It's Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, the HD remake of the first game. And remembering how much I hate the gummy level of that game. God, I hate those so much.
That's how you disguise a load zone, though.
It is so tedious to do that.
Tedious and annoying and boring.
Until you get the ability to warp to levels you've already been to, which makes it a little easier. Because if you decide to go to one place and then the next place you need to go is like 2 levels over, you have to go through 2 different gummy levels to get to it. And there were points where I was like, I don't ever want to do this. So I'm not going to play this game. But playing through that, I've done the first 3 levels, I think, outside of Traverse Town.
Okay.
It's Tarzan, Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland is the first level that you do. Alice in Wonderland, Tarzan, and Hercules.
Hercules.
So I finished all of those, went back to Traverse Town, and am at Agrabah right now, which is the only place I need to be because that's the best level in the game. Because anything Aladdin related is the best level in any Disney game. So
I was gonna say, it probably has some of the better music there.
But yeah, I love the Kingdom Hearts games. I like this upgrade is really nice compared to the PlayStation 2 version of the game. But you do really see the bones of that PlayStation 2 game in this package because it's just like an HD up-resed version of that game. So there are things about that game that I'm sure when I get to Kingdom Hearts 3, you're going to be like, I can't believe that was ever in this game with like the loading zones and the way the character moves, because those character animations are very stiff in that game.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing seeing how the tech has increased over the years and designs such as, or the graphics and everything increasing over time as well.
The facial movements, facial animations of the characters are just laughably bad. For the PS2, they were great, but on a PS4 with over a decade of improvements to facial animations and things like that, they are very dated. It's really funny to see those characters talk and the way their mouths move and how it looks like a mouth sitting on top of a face shape and not a mouth that's actually incorporated into the face in any way, if you know what I'm you know,
I
you can
forget. Did
picture
they
that.
lose the original source code for this game and they had to rework the whole thing or something?
I don't know.
It seems it was this one. I want to say it was this game.
So, uh, but those games are really good. They're the story still makes no sense. Even if,
Well,
what you're doing in the first few hours, you're like, what's going on? Why is any of this stuff happening? How do these characters move around to these different worlds? I don't know. Does it
Disney
really matter?
magic.
And that's exactly what it is. Um, and I forgot that Cloud was in the game. So
Yes.
when I got to the Hercules level and I saw somebody's foot, I said, "That's Cloud." And it pans up, and sure enough, Cloud Strife with the Buster Sword, all wrapped up, like it's completely wrapped up, so you can't actually see the metal of the weapon. Really, it looks like a
Oh,
mummified version of his sword.
that's right. And he's like has like a wing or something, doesn't he?
It's a red cape. Uh,
Yeah, I think Advent Children wasn't out until the second game, so they switched his look over to that later on.
yeah, I actually really like his look in this game. I was playing through. I was like, I want him to do Final Fantasy VII with this style. I think it would be really interesting to see a full Final Fantasy game in the Kingdom Hearts sort of cel shaded art style. But
Well, too late for that now, right?
so, uh, yeah, enjoying that. It's going to take a very long time to get through all of those games, though. I know it is, because I'm 6 hours in, and it's taken me 2 weeks to get 6 hours into the game because I'm playing so much other stuff at the same time.
Hmm.
It's one of those that I know I'm just going to go back to every once in a while and play a little bit. And eventually I'll get to Kingdom Hearts 3. It might be 2 years from now before I finally do. Uh, but I really do want to play through that entire story in order, at least order of release. I don't know. I think I'm already missed out on chronological order because I think some of the other stuff, like one of the DS games, I think takes place before Kingdom Hearts 1 or something. I don't
The
know
whole order is
what's.
extremely convoluted on there, and
So I tried to look up, the quote unquote best ways to play those games, and there were people that said just play them in the order they were released. There were others that say if you want to play in a chronological order, here's the proper way to do it. I'm just doing it like you should do Star Wars in order of release.
it's the
So
best way to do it, so that way you don't have to suffer with like just it'd be like trying to play Metal Gear Solid in chronological order rather than order of release. It would just not be a good thing to do.
yeah, uh, but yeah, so that's a game I'm gonna spend quite a bit of time with, and I'm hoping my kids will actually sit down and watch some of that stuff. I'm afraid though that too much of the Final Fantasy type stuff and not enough of the Disney stuff is gonna keep them from being super interested. The older kids have watched because they like to watch the game, but I don't think there's enough, Mickey and Donald and Goofy in that game to keep the little kids as interested as I'd like them to be watching me play through it.
Yeah, it's not exactly the most kid friendly stuff. This especially this day and age.
Uh, so I know there's no way they'd be able to keep track of what's going on, but I think I think they'd enjoy some of the stuff in there, especially the Disney stuff. When I first turned it on, I was like, "Hey, Abby, come sit down and watch me play this game. Mickey Mouse is in it." And I turned it on, forgetting that you don't see Mickey Mouse forever in the first game.
You don't
And
see him for a good while.
she kept saying, "When's Mickey gonna be here?" She didn't care about Donald and Goofy and Minnie and Daisy. She wanted to see Mickey, and she lost interest very quickly. So uh, maybe if I can get a little bit more of the Disney stuff on the screen, or get to some of the areas from movies that she really likes or Andrew really likes, I can get them to sit down and watch me play through some of that game.
Maybe.
But we'll see. So that is all that I have been playing. So let's take a quick break. We will come back and we will talk about the news. All right, so Ethan, if I told you there is a new mini console coming out, would you be interested?
Yes.
Okay, that's a simple enough answer. Sega is releasing a new Genesis Mini.
See, I was sitting here quiet for a moment, pretending I didn't know what he was talking about.
You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
I made the news section here. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So yeah, I think we've talked about this in the past. Sega had mentioned that they were working on a new Genesis Mini, and they announced launch date and the first set of games that will be available for the system. It is launching on the 19th of September. So what's what, 4 months away, 5 months away, something like that. 5 months away. So,
yeah, about 5 months, 5 or 6, somewhere in there. Yeah.
I will be exactly 39 and a half when this thing launches because it's exactly 6 months after my birthday. So, launching September 19th. Do we have pricing for it yet?
About $80 US.
I think so. $80 US. It's about It's almost exactly half the size of the original Model 1 Genesis. Will come with 2 controllers that are the 3-button controllers, not the 6-button controllers.
Well, it's not like we need the extra buttons anyway.
No. And then it'll have a USB to micro USB power cable and an HDMI cable. So that's what will be included in the box.
That's all you're going to need to hack the system.
Exactly. They announced the first 10 games that will be available for the system. There will be 40 eventually announced for this. They announced the first 10. I really hate that they do this. Just give us the whole list. I don't think there's any reason for you to string this along. It's not going to make the announcements any more exciting. Just give people the list of games.
Right. What we have on the list is Echo the Dolphin.
Okay.
Castlevania Bloodlines.
Nice.
Space Harrier 2.
Mm-hmm.
Shining Force.
Okay.
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Of course.
Toe Jam and Earl.
Mm.
Comics Zone. Or is it Comics?
It's comics. Yeah, comics.
Something called Sonic the Hedgehog.
Never heard.
Altered Beast. And Gunstar Heroes.
So
that's an amazing lineup, actually.
It's a fairly normal lineup for these. I think all of these games have been on these mini Genesises in the past.
Yeah, I mean,
there's mini
Gunstar Heroes, and then I mean, you can't have
Castlevania.
You can't have a Sega thing out there without Shining Force. Castlevania, of course, and who doesn't love Echo the Dolphin? Seriously, I mean, sure the gameplay's kind of weird, but it's Echo the Dolphin. Come on.
I have never been a big fan of Echo the Dolphin. That's not a game that excites me.
And then you have your Dark Souls game, Comic Zone.
I was going to say Dr. Robotnik Mean Bean Machine. That's the Dark Souls of Puyo Puyo games.
There is a comparison list here for the Mega Drive Mini, which has Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Puyo Puyo Su? Puyo Puyo 2, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine and Puyo Puyo are... Mean Bean Machine was just a reskin of Puyo Puyo. I've looked at it before. It's kind of amazing how much of a reskin they... Like, there was, like, no work done to it, really. Rent-A-Hero, something I've been interested in trying myself. Powerball and... I'm really going to butcher the name on this one. Mado Monogatari 1?
No idea.
I or something? Mado Monogatari. Yeah, I think I said it correctly. So those are like those 5 games are going to be on the Mega Drive Mini. We don't know what other games will be on the Genesis, the US variant.
Yeah. Of this list, Gunstar Heroes is the one that excites me the most. I love that game.
I honestly can't see them doing the Genesis Mini without doing Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles.
And Knuckles, yeah.
And, just for the heck of it, they throw in the Sonic and Knuckles bonus level thing on there, too, for when you have a different non-Sonic game in there. I could see them
They
doing that.
they probably that would be a nice little Easter egg thing.
It'd probably
Uh,
just be an option from the menu, for all I know.
One weird thing though is the Japanese version of the system is getting the 6-button controller.
Huh.
They showed the Japanese version off in Tokyo. It will have different games, of course, and it will have the 6-button controller, which is kind of strange.
That is
Uh,
strange.
I don't know if there's any reason that they need the 6-button controller over the U.S. and Europe.
I don't know. I might just import one of their controllers.
So I would imagine those controllers would be available at some point, if not directly from Sega. Some third party will have a controller for that if the 6-button controller isn't available here. Um,
And At Games is not involved in this one.
no, they are not. So I think right out of the gate, this is going to be better than the previous Sega Genesis flashbacks that we've seen. First of all, it's not going to include 80 games, 40 of which are generic throwaway games that nobody will ever play, in addition to 40 licensed Genesis games.
Although there are some people out there that are hopeful for the Mega Man. What is it called? The Genesis Mega Man game.
I did not own a Genesis, so I don't really know anything about
It was Japanese only, so chances of us getting it are not really high. But
I imagine this thing's probably going to be pretty easy to hack, like the Nintendo systems have been.
yeah, I have a whole set of ROMs ready to go for it right now.
So,
I think it was Wily Wars.
okay.
Anyway, it'd be cool if that showed up on the system.
So, yeah, it would be. I'd like to see some of those, or at least the ability to get those games easily in some way. If they don't make it official, like sometime I would love for one of these systems to be like, here's a list of 40 games, but then you know what? If you want to add some more, we got a store you can get them for a couple bucks each.
See, that would make perfect sense, and like have a memory expansion slot on there for it.
Yeah. So having, an NES, you can only ever have 30 games on. Nintendo says, here's your virtual console machine. You can plug these NES controllers. You can plug the Super Nintendo controllers. It'll come with, if it's a Super Nintendo shaped box, it'll come with 20 Super Nintendo games. If it's an NES shaped box, it'll come with 30 NES games. But you got a virtual console store that you can go and download any of the other games that are available on this thing at a very minimal price.
And then they can make it Bluetooth compatible, so you can use whatever 8-bit DOE controller or whatever you got with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And eventually there's like the update to add 64 and maybe even GameCube.
That'd be nice. But I want GameCube games on the Switch because I want to be able to take those with me wherever I go.
Oh, that would be so amazing.
I want to play Luigi's Mansion while I'm in a haunted mansion. That's what I want.
I'm trying to process the situation right there. Like, why?
I think it would be a huge deal. Like if Nintendo said, we're not making another mini system, we are making a virtual console box. Here you go. That would, of course.
I meant the Luigi's Mansion while in a mansion thing.
Well, that would be amazing. I would love to do that, but
someone would jump out of a closet scaring you, and you would drop the switch, and it would break.
Oh man, that would be bad. I better put it in a case before I go into a haunted mansion to play a game about a haunted mansion. So, yeah.
You would be in a corn maze, and you would drop it and not find it ever.
I don't want to think about it. So, yes, launching September 19th, Sega Genesis Mini is coming from Sega. I think this was this week. Was it this week that Apple had their event, or was it actually last week and we just didn't talk about it? I don't remember
Uh,
what day their event was. It might have been late last week, and we just didn't put it in the show notes. But
I want
Apple
to
had
say it
their
was this
event
week.
where they talked about some of their games and services that they're going to be launching around games. They're launching a subscription service for iPhone, uh, I think Apple TV as well, and Mac. Um, but during the Apple presentation, Way Forward snuck in a little bit of news that they are working on Shantae 5, and it will be coming to mobile. It will also be available on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and Switch.
This was
Um,
announced on, I think, the 25th. So
okay.
Monday.
Yeah. So this was during Apple's event. They talked about that. They did not show anything off about the game, just that Shantae can make her hair into the shape of a 5, which I hope is a skill that she can use in the game somehow, but I
Counting
doubt
with
it will be.
Shantae.
So Shantae 5 is coming from Way Forward. No release date, no gameplay, no nothing shown off, just that the game is coming, and it will be fabulous because all the Shantae games are.
Indeed.
Uh, Sticking with the fifth game in a series train, Persona 5, still no news of a Switch port.
Sadly, that is very true. We don't know if it's coming to Switch still.
Joker will be out and on in Smash, and
As of the
still no
day this
news.
goes up for the Patreons, yeah, it should be Joker on Switch.
I would not be surprised to see him drop April 1st.
That would be like the best day to do it.
It would be the best day to, both because people would think it is an April Fool's joke, and because having Joker released on April Fool's Day would
Hmm.
be fantastic. Um,
But
but no,
speaking of Persona 5,
Persona 5 The Royal, which is the P3 FES and P4 P of Persona 5.
or at least that's
And
what we're assuming, because
that's
we
what
don't.
we're assuming.
The only thing we have to go on right now is a new female protagonist.
Yes. There will be a new female protagonist in the game, and Atlas has said more news will be coming on April 24th. So
Yes.
I'm hoping that on April 24th they announce a Switch port, finally. I'm really getting tired of this game not being announced for Switch.
Yeah, it was on
Uh,
PS3 and PS4, and the PS3 version was easily ported to PC by modders and such. And they found some Persona 3 elements hidden in the game files.
really.
Yeah, it was some cool stuff they found.
So it's just with knowing that Joker is going to be in Smash Brothers, that has to lead to a Persona 5 announcement for Switch. It's not going to be a surprise to anybody when they do. Just tell us the game is coming,
It's going to be
please.
more of a about time, and
Exactly.
we'll still cheer anyway.
Well, that's true. We will. Man, I keep seeing that game for $20 in Walmart, and I never pick it up. I need to do that.
Really, 20
But again,
bucks? That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's $20 at Walmart. But I know with the game almost certainly coming to Switch, like with Dragon Quest, I put off that game because I knew I wanted to play the Switch version. I can get Dragon Quest for like $30 on the PS4, but I want to play it on Switch, and I know the exact same thing is going to happen with Persona 5. Why would I pick up the game now, even though it's $20, when I know on this it's going to be out on the system that I want to really play it on at some point in the future? So I just need them to announce it so that I can say, okay, yes, now I know when I will be able to play this game. Please make it happen.
And you'll be able to play as a female protagonist.
That's true. That is true.
And it's probably
So,
going to do the thing they did in the first game, or the no Persona 3 Portable, where it said play through the game as the male first, so that for reasons.
yeah. And then play through again as the girl.
Speaking of announcements and not getting much more news on the announcement,
And the fifth game in a series. No, we're
actually,
dropping down.
hold on. One, two, yeah, this is kind of the fifth game.
Well, let's see. You got the first one, you got the second one, you got the pre, you got the Tales
Tails,
of. So yeah, this is the fifth game. Borderlands 5 is coming. Uh,
and it's called Borderlands 3, oddly
it
enough.
is called Borderlands 3. Yeah, Gearbox this week showed off the launch trailer for Borderlands 3 that showed off some of the new characters, some characters from Tales from the Borderlands, which means that that game is actually officially canon. I don't know that that has been confirmed in the past. Um,
I think that was more of a pre-story for, or some kind of story for Handsome Jack at some point, if I remember. I don't know.
yeah, because he is in that game, and it does take place before the events of the proper Borderlands games.
Okay.
So, but that is at this point, I assume that that is officially in the Borderlands canon because some of the characters from Tales from the Borderlands were shown off in the trailer for Borderlands 3. Uh, but basically, they show a bunch of people running around shooting things. Showed off some new abilities for some of the characters. Like one of the characters grew 6 glowy arms. And
Nice.
you'll be able to do something with that. They specifically mentioned guns with leg, which literally were guns running around the battlefield shooting things.
Wouldn't be
So they've
Borderlands without
officially
that, right?
they've officially gone crazy.
Man, I hope I get to play as Claptrap again. That's always fun.
And then the last thing they highlighted during that trailer was 1 billion guns, and that's with a B. 1 billion guns.
Well, they have like a weird
Okay.
randomizer that mixes stats up, so yeah, that should work for them.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be too hard for them to get that billion number. Um, but yeah, other than that, nothing. We know nothing about the game. We don't know what it's going to be online, what the story is going to be like. Nothing. Just that we know Borderlands 3 is coming.
It's gonna be
I
fun.
did see a bunch of people speculating that they were going to announce Borderlands Battle Royale, but that
There's no
wasn't the
reason
case.
for them to. It'd be weird to even do that. That's not the Borderlands thing.
Yeah, Borderlands is a looter shooter. Um, so
You caught me off guard
I,
with that one.
I saw that I saw that term thrown around on the internet this week for the first time, um, and thought that was pretty funny. I'd never heard it called a looter shooter before.
It's entirely accurate. That's the funny part.
I mean, it is 100% accurate. The game is completely loot drop based. I mean, you're getting new loot all the time in the game, but I'd never heard it called that, and I don't remember who I saw that from the first time, but I thought that was funny. Um, so yeah, Borderlands 3 coming. No platforms announced. No nothing. That's it. Just that the game is coming. The logo looks exactly like you'd expect. It's just the Borderlands with a 3 at the end. Nothing special. No, I don't even think there was any kind of like subtitle or anything. It's just being called Borderlands 3 right now, which I guess makes sense.
Yeah, it that's perfectly fine. I don't think Borderlands 2 had a subtitle either.
I don't think so.
And of course, pre-sequel. I mean, how else are you going to describe like Borderlands 0?
Borderlands Episode 1, The Phantom Shooter.
Episode 0, Part 4.
There you go. Uh, and then lastly, we've got a little bit of Way Forward news earlier, so let's get some former Way Forward employees. That's Yacht Club Game. They announced a new game this week, and it looks phenomenal. As soon as I saw it, I immediately thought Ninja Gaiden, and that's exactly what it is. It is the Ninja Gaiden-inspired side-scrolling platformer. It looks exactly like you would expect, that very high-quality pixel art from Yacht Club Games. The game's called Cyber Shadow. I imagine you're seeing the trailer for that game right now, and I cannot wait to play this game.
It it looks so fun.
We need
I
to
just
get the.
hope it's as fun as Ninja Gaiden without the difficulty curve in there.
Yeah, I don't want birds flying in from the screen when I have no chance to attack or dodge them and have them knock me into a pit. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, the flying creature pit boss is the most annoying thing you can have in games like this.
Yeah. So it looks exactly the way you would think. It is very heavily inspired by the NES style, just like Shovel Knight was. Uh, the character looks and moves the way the character in Ninja Gaiden does. Uh,
I mean, he's a ninja. He's got to, learn from the best.
well, I mean, not only just the way he moves, the way he jumps, the way he brings his sword out.
Well, he's like
It
he's a cyborg ninja, so he probably has it downloaded.
it's probably true.
It's like, I need to learn from the best. Give me reused abilities.
Exactly.
And then they unplug him. He's like, I know kung fu. It's like, oh wait, we meant to give him ninjutsu. Oops.
Why is he playing volleyball? That's weird.
Yeah, because only the girls played it.
He got his signals crossed. No. So yeah.
It's a different show there.
It's a yacht club games thing. You know exactly if you've played Shovel Knight and know where that game was inspired from. You know what this game is going to be like. Only it's going to be that better. So they still need to get out the last little bit of Shovel Knight DLC. There's one more bit of that they need to finish up, and then this will be out probably later this year or early next year. I don't remember seeing a release date, but that could have been out there and I just missed it.
Hold on, I might have it here. Let's see. Ton of screenshots. It's in development for PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. It'll be available for $15. I don't see anything about a release date.
Okay.
It might be in the trailer, so if it's in there, cool. If not, be on the lookout for it.
There you go. I'm going to be on the lookout for it because I know I'm going to want to play this. I'm very mad at myself that I waited as long as I did to play Shovel Knight because that game was beautiful.
That was a fun game. I wish I had been one of the backers.
So, but that is it for the news. So, let's take care of listener feedback. We got one question in this week, and that comes from Nathan via Facebook, who says, Sonic movie. Do you see anything good in what we've seen so far? I mean, I need to see a trailer. The design that was leaked is okay, but very generic. Could have been worse. Need to see it in motion. I have seen nothing good in that movie so far from what I've seen.
I've seen that it's
like
doing everything
the only thing
wrong.
The only thing I saw that got right was Sonic's fur was blue.
His arms were blue too,
which is weird. And his gloves are fur. They're not actually gloves.
I actually thought that was kind of a nice touch on there to go with that approach.
I mean, it makes way more sense than a hedgehog wearing gloves, but still weird when you expect to see gloves on the character that they're not gloves.
There was like Photoshop alterations where it's more of the modern Sonic done in that style, and I would have been just happy with that.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Nathan's right. We do need a trailer. We really need to hear
Jim Carrey as Robotnik.
Yes, that'd be one thing. I'm sure he's got that down to a science at this point. But no, I want to hear what Sonic actually sounds like, since all I have to go off of is Parks and Recs, which I don't see him sounding like that guy at all.
Who's doing the voice of Sonic in this?
I forget his name.
Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up now.
He's played one of the worst one of the worst people, not characters.
Oh yeah, he played what's his face. Oh my gosh, what is his name? John Ralphio.
Yeah.
from Parks and Rec. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I hated that character so much.
It's fine because he's supposed to be hated, but that's all. Whenever I think Sonic, and I know that's the voice actor, it's like, well, here we are.
I mean, there's a couple other actors that I really like. Neil McDonough is in the movie. Adam Pally is in the movie, who I think he's really funny. And then James Marsden from the X-Men movies, who plays Sonic's best friend, the sheriff of Green Hill Zone, or just Green Hills, I guess is what it's called in the movie.
Yeah.
But I have not seen a picture of what Jim Carrey as Robotnik looks like. Based on the design of Sonic, I'm worried because I don't like that design of Sonic at all. I think it looks weird.
Because you're probably scared we're going to have a skinny Robotnik, right?
I'm worried that's what's going to happen, yeah.
Oh, man, that might happen. Man, I don't know.
I mean, Jim Carrey's not opposed to hiding behind tons and tons of makeup and prosthetics.
Oh yeah, like the Grinch. He had the big belly on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could pull it off with him.
He has to have the world's most majestic mustache, or the movie's just going to be a flop. Period. So
they need to do the thing where it's just the mustache sticking out from the. Like he has no mouth; it's just hidden, like in the games.
So the problem with that, though, is a lot of Jim Carrey's, appeal comes from
his
the way
facial,
he moves his mouth,
yeah.
his facial features and things like that.
You're gonna say his facial animations?
Yeah, his facial animations. How do they animate Jim Carrey's face? So yeah, based on what I've seen so far, I am not interested in the movie at all. I do want to see some more of it. I want to see the way Sonic moves. I want to hear the way things sound. Like with anything, I'm willing to at least give it the chance to, make me want to see the movie. But from the early pictures we've seen, I have no desire.
Gonna call it right now. When the end credits start to roll, it's gonna be like the credits on one side of the screen, and then like maybe I'm gonna say the left side of the screen, they're gonna have like Sonic the Hedgehog the game on the Genesis, just Green Hill Zone playing, and then maybe it'll switch to like Marble Garden or whatever the other zones are. I can't think of them right now, but I'm betting they're gonna do something like that with the end credits.
I wouldn't be surprised. So there you go. That is going to be the show for this week. So thank you, Ethan, for being on the show.
Ah, man, I didn't get. I had a good quote last time, but not this time. Oh well. It's all this Sonic talk.
Sonic has blue arms.
Sonic Ralphio.
Oh, don't even. Let's see, has somebody done a John Ralphio Sonic the Hedgehog? Somebody has. If you want to reach out to us, we have tons of new ways to do so. You can email us at podcast@procgent.com. That's PROCGENT.com. You can send us a voicemail if you want by clicking on the voicemail link on the right side of the website. You can send us voicemails up to 90 seconds in length, and we'll play those on future episodes of the show and respond to the questions that you have. If you like what we do here, you can now support us on Patreon, patreon.com/pgint. Patreon supporters will get a video version of the podcast a day early. These will normally go out on Tuesdays. Patreon supporters will get them on Monday. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/progenint. Check out our YouTube channel that we've got and see the content we've got going on up there. And then we still do have the Facebook group where you can interact with us on a daily basis as well.